Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I made that bass that I uploaded on SoundCloud yesterday. And unfortunately, I lost some of the stuff in the file because I forgot to save it when I uploaded it. But I think I got it pretty close, so the original one that I uploaded sounded like this. And now it sounds like, I tried to remake it as close as I could, but now it sounds like this. So yeah, there's some tiny stuff off in the automation probably. But basically all this is a vocodec using the carrier modulator method and a separate sub bass for reasons. So I guess I should start with the carrier sound. So I'm just gonna disable all the effects after that. So the carrier by itself sounds like this. Right now I'm recording through my monitor, so it's gonna sound a bit weird, but that's basically what the carrier sounds like. It's like a Reese. And when we look at the patch, it's basically two oscillators, scrapyard, and just a saw that are at 0. So basically you have to play it like way low. Yeah, like 2 octaves down from the normal. If you put 24 down and then you basically play it at like F4 or something, now you have to go like F2. But that's fine. Really the root of these kind of sounds is the filter movement, and here I have band pass and double notch, and I have them kind of random positions and a macro on them. Then I have this LFO with synced speed. So basically the rate of the LFO is key tracked, so that if I play a high note, it's gonna be really fast, and then lower, it's gonna be slower. Wow, that rhymed. Then I have some ring mod and phase on 1 and 2, and some white noise apparently. On the insert I have bit crash. It's cool to have in a Reese when you basically have the macro that controls the cutoff, to have the bit crush, more bit crush when you basically open the sound. That's a cool sounding effect, I guess. And then I have some P-shaping or whatever, parabolic effects, some tube, T-tube, and chorus assemble. I like that one. And it looks like I took some of the mids off. It's basically the sound. Oh, has some stuff in the voicing, so to pitch cutoff in 0.02, 4 unison around the middle of the pan position, a bit to the right. Wavetable position, I did some weird stuff with that. I don't usually play with that, but it's cool. And I did the reset by a gate, so that the phase always starts at the certain point. Also, when you have the reset by a gate, the unisono detune works a bit differently. So if the sound is like this, without the reset by a gate, it would be like, wow. Actually, it's all the effects are making it different. I can't really notice a difference right now, but if you try it with like a super saw, there's a huge difference when you do that. It's just good to know. And then the glide time is 0.58, around there. And that's what I have for all of them. Okay, so for the next thing, I guess the modulator. Now, it doesn't really matter what your modulator is, or what the sound itself, if it actually sounds good, because it's basically working like a filter. And as you see here, I'm going off the score because it doesn't matter. It's just working as a filter. The score is not gonna like register in any way. Or well, it's gonna register because if you have it lower, the filter is gonna move like kind of down, and that can give it some pretty cool textures and whatnot. So the modulator sounds something like this. God, that's awful. But yeah, it's, as you can hear, it's like there's a lot of movement and weird stuff going on there. I just automated a couple of notch filters on this, and they're moving totally random. I'm not like, I didn't plan this or anything. I just did random shit and just see how it sounds like. Then I have a wow filter with wow mode on, just to add some more movement, I guess, with pretty high resonance so that you can actually hear the movement a lot better. 100% wet and a bit of overdrive, and so band reject. And those are the letters or whatever, the sounds. Then there's another EQ that's not being automated, but it's just shaping the sound a little bit. Yeah. So with the vocoder or the vocodex, it basically just sounds like this. Whoops. Basically sounds like this. Just gonna disable all of these. So yeah, it already sounds pretty sweet just by adding the vocodex, which is doing a lot of things. So to get the modulator carrier thing to work, you have to link both of the modulator and the carrier on the vocodex channel by route to this track only, so that the entire output is going into that. And then from here, for the first slot is modulator. You choose the modulator. I named the modulator and carrier, so it's super obvious. And then for the carrier, the carrier. And as you can see here, I did just some pretty random shaping. It doesn't really matter that much. This is just the gain of the bands. So basically, it works like an EQ, except within a vocoder. And I have the bandwidth like super wide, 350%, and this thing all the way up. The filter flatness, whatever that means. And then I automated this thing, the pitch shift on it. And I think I also kind of did some stuff to this. Okay, so bandwidth, so it can have different width on different frequencies. Whoops. That's good enough. So yeah, it's a bit thinner around there and around there. 1K and 200, whatever. I didn't really plan that either. It was just random playing around. Then the modulator pitch shift. So I'm not exactly sure what this does. I think it like moves the formants up or down the amount you set it. Something like that. But yeah, that's like that. Again, I don't know why I did that. Oh, and it's pretty important that you put the order to the third one. If you have like the second one. This basically changes how much of the sound is coming from the modulator, how much from the carrier. So I think, I'm not exactly sure, but I think when you have it at 4, it's the most like the modulator. If you have it at 1, as you can hear, it's mostly just the carrier. So 3 is pretty good for this sound, I think, because you want a lot of movement, but not just basically the movement of the modulator. You want sub movement of the carrier as well. So I think that's it for the vocodecs. Moving on from there, we have all of this, which changes the sound to this. So first some EQing. No, there's no automation there, but I high passed it because I want to have a separate sub, because in vocodec spaces like this, when the sound is really dynamic and weird, the sub can also be super dynamic. But when you actually have it in a track, no one's going to be able to tell if you have a separate sub. So it's better just to have the sub going full on than just being there at random times with the dynamics. I guess that's my logic for having a separate sub. Then I have some Camel Crasher. I don't know why I didn't use Camel Fat, just for whatever reason. I have some Tube, some Mech, I don't know. I put the volume down a bit, and the mix is like 90%. Then another freaking EQ. I'm just, I don't know, doing something to it. There's so many EQs that I don't actually know why I did all this. And then a sausage patterner at like 10%, no color, and at 0 dB. Then some more effects. Oh wow, I didn't even enable the effects. Oh no, that's the other one. Okay, so more effects. That's weird. I automated this for like a little bit. I guess there was like some problem with the frequencies, and I wanted it to kind of cut that for a second there. It's really just random automating. You shouldn't worry about it. What you should do is just add as many like notch filters and like even some high pass stuff, and just try it out and see what it sounds like. That's barely doing anything. Then I have a Maximus, and that's not it, there's still another one. By the way, if you didn't know how you can see the spectrum on here, you just press this little circle here. So I think it's pretty helpful that you can see it, so I can get all these set where you actually want. So yeah. Wow, I have the master engaged. Probably didn't want that, but sure, I'll let it be there. And then even more effects. This is basically the main shaping, like all of those EQs back here and back here. Like I did that way back like some months ago, and I just came back and fixed the sound with this one EQ basically. So before this EQ it sounded like this. It just makes it a lot cleaner in the mids, I think. Like the high mids, around there. Then just a tiny bit of reverb just to give it a bit of space. You can't really hear it because it's my monitors, but it's there. And then the final limiter. And then I didn't forget the sub. The sub is there. Oh, actually, I never showed you what the modulator sounds like, did I? Or the patch for it. So the modulator patch, which really sounds like crap, and it doesn't actually matter what it is. I just had an AI. As you can see, I automated 3 random things. And I just have as much movement and stuff in the sound as I possibly can. So, yeah. Band reject and double notch. And I have a key tracked LFO on the cutoffs. Yeah. Basically that. I'm gonna probably have a download for all the massive patches and the vocodex patch. But not the rest of the stuff. The rest of the stuff is up to you. So with the sub, then the sub is just the most basic sub you could think of, but massive. So yeah, that is the sound. It still kind of sucks though that I didn't get it exactly like this, because you can probably hear that there's some mid frequency unwanted stuff on here that I just can't figure out how I got it to sound better on this. But whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna have the patches that I just mentioned in the description, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the sound. Have a nice day.